Big news today. The member for Aston is quitting politics. There will be a by-election in coming months. Josh Frydenberg will not be contesting that seat. There'd been some speculation that he might, but here's Alan Tudge.
I'd like to inform the House that I'll be resigning from Parliament effective from next week. I informed the Prime Minister and the Speaker of my decision earlier today, and the Leader of the Opposition has known of my likely intent since early January, when my decision was cemented following the passing of my father. It's not been an easy decision for me, but it is necessary for my health and for my family, amongst other reasons. I certainly have not taken this decision lightly. My daughters, who are 18 and 16, know nothing other than their dad being away. They've had to put up with things that no teenager should have to, including death threats, the most recent of which was last week. My son is a bit younger, but I equally want to be a good father to him. And while this profession can be unforgiving at times, serving as a Member of Parliament, though, has been one of the greatest honours of my life. As a local member, I've had opportunities to work with thousands of individuals and groups to advance our community, from Foothills Community Care to the Baronia Football Club. I've had the privilege of meeting and recognising the volunteers who have done 20 or more years of quiet work just helping others, the true heroes of our nation. And this alone makes a role as a representative not just worthwhile but immensely rewarding, and why I continue to encourage others to consider pursuing it. I thank the people of Aston for putting their faith in me and giving me that responsibility. In addition, I've been fortunate to have been given ministerial responsibilities and was equally fortunate in my timing. Just one term in opposition and 9 years on the front bench in government, including being in the Morrison cabinet. My passion has always been in social policy rather than economic or security policy, the traditional Liberal focal areas. I've always believed that while the economy is the foundation of our society, the social policies determine whether individuals are given the opportunity and responsibility to realise their potential. And both of these things are required, opportunity and responsibility, something that I learnt deeply from working with Noel Pearson. That's why I've been passionate about working with colleagues in this House to lead policy reforms over the years, such as strengthening the sustainability of our social security systems, including stronger job search obligations, which in part has led to the lowest welfare dependency ratio in decades. The cashless welfare card, which was co-designed and implemented with Indigenous leaders in areas where welfare-fuelled alcohol abuse was robbing women and children of their safety, let alone a reasonable life. And there is still so much work to do in this area, as Alice Springs has shown. Policies to support social cohesion and strengthen our successful model of integrated multiculturalism, including encouraging the learning of English and providing unlimited free tuition to do so, as well as countering some of the CCP misinformation. Reforms to online gambling, including banning lines of credit and other new consumer protections, some of which are still being implemented now. My greatest passion, though, was and is in education. I would have loved more time leading that portfolio, but I know that many of our initiatives are being supported by the Albanese government. For example, I'm pleased that legislation has been reintroduced to enact the research commercialisation agenda, what the Business Council of Australia described as crucial for our economic success for decades to come. Equally so, the reforms to initial teacher education, which is absolutely fundamental to lifting school standards. Similarly, the expansion of Teach for Australia, the rolling out of explicit instruction in remote schools, and the encouragement of high-fee independent schools to partner with Indigenous ones. All are important, and I thank Minister Jason Clare for the constructive manner he has taken to these programs. I don't expect the Labor government to be quite as passionate as me as reforming the school curriculum to present a more positive, optimistic view of our nation, but I'd certainly encourage the government down that path. Mr Speaker, as you know, nothing in this place can be achieved alone. I've had incredible support from so many. To start with, I've had brilliant staff in my office over the years, no more so than the leaders of my electorate office who were with me almost my entire time, Glynis Allen and Sandra Ray, but also Nicole Fewson, Jessica White, Sam Rebecki, Rachel Dryden, Michael Bennett, Baronia Blow and so many others. I have friends and loved ones who have always been in my corner, and they know who they are. I've had colleagues who are now incredible friends. I've had the benefit of a professional public service. To all of you, I simply say thank you. I also thank the Prime Minister and the Speaker for the grace that they have shown me. I especially thank Peter Dutton, Scott Morrison and Tony Abbott for their leadership, support and strength. Peter Dutton is a man of incredible integrity, experience and strength, and I greatly admire him, and he would make an excellent Prime Minister. I thank the Liberal Party and the thousands of members that the party comprises, locally headed by the amazing Paul Stone. Our values are as timeless and true today as when Menzies articulated them. Moreover, the future is bright for our side of politics, when we're still recruiting people of the talent of Zoe and Keith and Aaron, just to mention the 3 Victorians who came in at the last election. Just grab a glass of water, please. Thanks, mate. Sorry, just bear with me for a second. Well, I think you know what was coming in terms of just thank you. Sorry, I'll just take a breath. Finally, thanking my family. Thanks, mate. I've got water everywhere now. Yeah. But I wanted to thank my family particularly, and particularly my kids, Cass, Chrissy and Richard, who I'm so very proud of. Proud to see my son flourish in his early primary school years, and proud to see my daughters growing to being strong, independent women. Mr. Speaker, I believe honoured to have served and proud of what we have achieved, both for the people of Aston and across Australia, but particularly for Indigenous Australia. There is always much more work to do, and there are always new faces in this place. But I believe that the Liberal Party is well served by the emerging talent in Aston, and it is time to pass the baton to someone who can hopefully serve our local community better than anyone before them. It truly has been an honour and a privilege to be a member of this place. I thank the House.